My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the IRS. Welcome to my YouTube station. I've worked thousands of cases. I was the IRS. I don't practice at this. I've been doing this for 52 years. I am a national expert. Go to my website. This isn't an infomercial for me. You can learn all about me at 777irs.com. I want to give you a couple of the top secret tips for if you're being audited by the Internal Revenue Service. You know, if you have all your records and you feel good about your audit, go in yourself. You don't need anybody to go in. And here's how you decide when you want somebody. If you have that feeling in the gut of your stomach, there's something there. There's a couple closets you don't want them to go in, or so a couple issues. Do not go in yourself, because you're just going to get nailed to the wall, and you could be set up for accuracy penalties and things like that. So I just want you to be really aware of. But a couple of the tips that I really want to give you today, really there's one big tip. Let me just give you one big tip on here. I don't want to blow everything right today, but you know, you may not have documentation for some of the things. It's very, well, most people don't. There are some certain people that are so anal that they have all the documentation. Some, very few. But you know, you can reconstruct your records. You know, just want to let you know that reconstruction is allowed by IRS. Now, some people, agents may not like that. Well, that's too bad. That's why you can always appeal the decisions by the first auditor, and usually in appeals they're going to give you this if it's reconstructed properly. But if you do not have records, you've lost the records, they were lost in the wind, sucked by a hurricane, blew out your car, or whatever, thousands of reasons I've heard in my life. A camel, I had one person said a camel ate their records. Yeah, a camel. Can you imagine a camel? I don't even want to tell you how that came up, but a camel ate their records. Person had a pet camel at their house and ate their records. Anyway, at the end of the day, you can either maybe contact the vendor, get a statement from somebody notarized. I'll give you a perfect example, and I use this all the time. You're a painter, and you've painted 10 houses. You don't have any records. You just have this income, all these deposits. IRS says, well, you don't have any proof of expenses. Well, you really could probably go to the vendor. You could probably contact the people's house you painted, documentation that you painted a house. This is with the square feet. This is the paint that was required. If you don't have mileage, you can reconstruct where you went and say, hey, these are the places that I went to. There's always reconstructive ways you can show IRS you had this. You know, IRS isn't looking to disallow. They're just looking to see that you actually had the expenses. You don't need a receipt for everything. Sometimes IRS will just see this and say, okay, how does 80% of what you took? Does that sound good? So there's negotiation in that. That's why you always want to go ahead and keep your appeals line open and go to appeals on cases where you've lost your records. Don't give up. The biggest tip that I can give you is be organized. Make sure you keep your appointment date up and be able to show reconstruction at all. And usually, generally, if you have someone do the representation that's good, the agent is going to go ahead and let the third party go ahead many times and get their way, as long as it's reasonable, because they know they're going to fight this and win this. So many times representation really helps you during an IRS audit. Anyway, if you need me, call me, give me a subscription. I always tell you what you want. Remember, tax reconstruction is your friend. Thank you for listening.